Let's speak more about this with James Head. He's a professor of the Department of Earth, Environmental and Planetary Sciences at Brown University. Welcome to the program, Professor.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. Well, we just heard there the ambitious Artemis program by NASA to return to the moon in 4 years. In your view, how likely is it to succeed?
Well, I think the Artemis program will succeed. If you had asked me in the 1960s whether we would land a human on the moon by the end of the decade, I would have said, gee, you're crazy. But that was my first job, and we did it. We did it for all humankind. So I think anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
Right. Well, Professor, the report also mentions the domestic political reality of the U.S. space program and how it's tied to who's in the White House. We're seeing a new president in less than 2 months, and the focus right now very much on confronting the pandemic. So what's the appetite for space exploration?
I think space exploration in the United States is one of the key topics that everybody supports. It's very bipartisan support for space. Everybody remembers, of course, Neil Armstrong landing on the moon, all the successes of the multiple Apollo missions, scientific expeditions to the moon. And indeed, this is something that will continue under any administration because it's very bipartisan support. And China is doing a great job here in terms of their first sample return mission. This is incredible. We haven't been returning samples for 44 years, and we have many scientific questions which the Chang'e 5 mission is going to help us answer. This is really exciting opportunity, and we really appreciate China's efforts in this area.
Last month, the U.S. also signed the Artemis Accords with several nations. These are ostensibly guidelines for nations who want to cooperate with NASA on the moon. But critics argue differently, saying the U.S. is trying to control space resources. Is that fair?
Oh, I don't think it's fair at all. I think the Artemis Accords are very inclusive, and I'm confident in the future with future administrations and as we move forward that hopefully China can be involved as well. And science is very international. Space exploration is very international. It's very expensive. It requires a lot of efforts and also teamwork and very, multiple ideas about how to accomplish things. And I think that the future, international collaboration and cooperation is the way to go.
All right, and we look forward to that. Professor James Head, we thank you so much for your time. Well, that's it for me for now. Gerald Tan here in Washington, D.C. Let's go back to Zhengshe in Beijing and our continued coverage of the Chang'e 5 lunar mission.